Hello and welcome to Wellbeing on Spectrum Television, a program structured to encourage a healthy living. I am Uime Serial. Do well to follow us on all our socials at SpectrumTv NG or visit our website at SpectrumTv.ng. Alright, don't forget that well-being is very important to you and your health, both psychologically, mentally, physically, and emotionally. And that's why it's an exciting moment of health talk right here on the show. Remember, last week we actually talked about ways in which we can care for our eyes, and so this week will just be a continuation of our last episode, and that's because your eye care is so important that we had to talk to different optometrists just to help educate us more on eye care. We'll go on a quick break, and when we return, we'll be looking at what World Health Organization has to say about eye care. Please don't go away. You're welcome back to the show, and it's good to know you're still watching. This is still Wellbeing on Spectrum Television. Please do well to join this very conversation on Facebook at SpectrumTv NG. We started last week by analyzing what eye care is, and so right now we want to talk about how World Health Organization is raising awareness on eye care. Raising awareness on eye care, a key WHO recommendation in the World Report on Vision that was in 2019 to actually strengthen general awareness and engage and empower people and communities. There is a strong rationale to strengthen health promotion and education in the field of eye care, given the majority of cases in vision impairment and blindness can be prevented through easily detection and timely management. Remember, we already talked about that last week. If you did not watch the program, do well to go to our social media and check that out. Now, poor eye health literacy can also limit adherence to medications and routine assessment among people with chronic eye conditions. So, World Health Organization also recognizes the vital role education campaigns play in the management of myopia and it's associated with complications. So, while also improving education of good eye care behaviors, example, the importance of regular eye examinations and addressing common reasons for non-compliance to spectacle wear. You remember what Dr. Samuel said the other week about that spectacle wear. So that's what WHO is trying to talk about, that there should actually be more awareness in schools, to actually tell people about taking care of your eyes. That's eye care, and this is going to help us in reducing the eye impairment that we have currently, and I think it's actually a very good one there. Moving ahead now, it is recommended that eye health promotion and education be delivered across all levels of care, with an increased focus on integrating simple and effective education and counseling at the community and primary care level. You see that? So a significant number of opportunities exist for the integration of eye care education across other health programs areas, such as occupational health, nutrition and immunization, tobacco cessation, and sun protection initiatives. So regardless of approach strategies for health promotion, education and prevention in the field of eye care should not be conducted in isolation. Rather, they should be complementary to existing clinical interventions, policies, and awareness in countries. So every single country who is trying to say that there should be awareness, creating awareness, going to schools, doing rallies and doing campaigns and exposing people to the importance of taking care of your eyes and possible things to do in taking care of your eyes, which is very important. We already did that in our last episode, how to take care of your eyes and things you shouldn't do, with your eyes every other day. All right, now away from that, let's also see what the federal government of Nigeria now has to say about eye care. The federal government unveiled a national policy that will actually ensure Nigerians to have equitable access to quality eye care and help the country cope with described as raising cases of blindness and several other eye diseases. So there's actually an increased rate of blindness going on now in Nigeria. The other time we talked about the fact that blindness and eye care is actually like the US second most important problem they're actually trying to tackle over there. So right here in Nigeria, it's happening too. It could just be anyone. Some persons here in this part of the world, we like to tack a lot of things to spiritual problems. Trust me, if you do not take care of your eyes, things like this can happen, because over times, it goes from one stage to the other. You don't need to worry. We'll have another optometrist join us today. We actually had gone for an interview to talk to the doctor on how to actually take care of our eyes and stay healthy. Lenses we have concave lenses and we have convex lenses. Now concave lenses are for nearsighted, and concave lenses are actually for the far-sighted. So now concave lenses are used in eyeglasses that correct nearsightedness, because the distance between the eye lens and the retina in nearsighted people is longer than it should be. Now such people are unable to make out distant objects clearly. Placing a concave lenses in front of a nearsighted eye, it actually it reduces the refraction of light and lightness, and then the focal length, so that the image is formed in the retina, so it helps them to actually see clearly. And also on the other hand, we have the convex lenses, and they are used in eyeglasses for correcting far-sightedness, where the distance between the eyes and the lens and retina is too short, so as a result of which the focal point lies behind the retina. Now eyeglasses with convex lenses increases refraction, and accordingly it reduces the focal length. There's something we call lens design personalization. Now after materials and lens makers consider the design and focal function for every type of eyeglasses lens, does the wearer need them to see far away or up close, or are we correcting a vision problem such as astigmatism? Here are just some of the lenses designed to meet those vision needs. Let's look at that. So now the first one is single vision lenses. It's made for one consistent focal power to correct a single vision condition, and then progressive lenses actually it corrects more than one vision condition, which the focal power progressing from top to bottom without a visible line separating them. All right, and then the concave lens is used to treat nearsightedness or myopia, and the lens shape is concave, thicker. It is actually thicker at the edge, thinner in the middle to bend rays outward. So you see some of the lenses that are very thick, right? That is actually concave lenses. Plus lenses used to treat far-sightedness or hyperopia, Alright, the lens shape is convex, then thicker in the middle, thinner at the edge to bend the rays inwards now, not outward, remember. And then we have cylindrical lenses. It is designed for astigmatism, or when the corner of the eye is oval rather than round. So a cylindrical lens is the most common way to correct astigmatism. Alright, we'll just take a very short break, and when we return, we'll get to hear what Dr. Moses has to say. Please don't go away. We'll be right back.
My name is Dr. Moses Erijitoma. I am an optometrist with Soteria Eye Clinic, Uyo. Eye care, as the name specifies, it has to do with the care of the eye. So it comes in various forms, but eye care generally means the general well-being of taking care of our eyes. It's what we call eye care.
Alright, sir. So are there stages at which the eye starts to defect from one stage to the other till it becomes worsened? Are there stages?
Yes, the eye is one of those organs of the body that most time there's what we call ocular manifestations. A lot of things can happen in the eye, the body, and sometime before you detect it, you have ocular manifestations. So to come back to your question, there are just stages that occur before it becomes worse. Is that not what you are trying to find out? Well, yes, they are. There are some cases that can occur, and if not properly taken care of at that particular time, it can worsen up. For example, when it comes to issue of glaucoma is one of the most dangerous diseases that affect the eyes. And one of the risk factors for glaucoma is increase in the intraocular pressure of the eyes. And it does not give signs or sometimes you they'll just give you signs that maybe your eye is itching you, your vision is blurry, then you have glaucoma. No. The only way you can find out, detect it, and probably nip it in the bud is routine eye check. So in the case of, from the question you just asked, so if you go for a routine eye check and you find out that there's an increase in the pressure of the eye, then there are medication that you can use at that particular time to stop the increase in the pressure of the eye before it destroys the optic nerves. Or if there are still cases of maybe there's a case of low tension glaucoma. So the pressure can be normal within the normal range. The normal range of the eye pressure is between 10 to 21 millimeter mercury. So any pressure within that range is considered normal. But sometimes too, somebody's pressure can be maybe 10 millimeter mercury or 12 millimeter mercury, and if you are not very careful, you think the person has a normal pressure. But you have to look at the fundus. There's what we call fundoscopy. You have to do a thorough fundoscopy. So optometrists and other eye care professionals, we are trained to able to find out if the cupping is becoming too large. So the person can even have low tension glaucoma. The pressure can be low, but if the cupping is wide, you tell the patient that, look, you are a suspect of glaucoma. So you also have to intervene. So in that case, because of that routine check you did, you are able to intervene to when, before it gets to a stage where it is irreversible. For example, like glaucoma, the visual loss is irreversible. So you don't wait until when it gets worse before you intervene. Diabetes is one of the causes of visual loss. There's what we call diabetic retinopathy. It comes in various forms, from background to before it gets to the worst stage, which is neovascular, then the third stage, which is causes neovascularization. So most you can detect diabetes, especially that one is not controlled, by looking at the fundus. Like, you know, I told you about the fundus. You look at the retina, you're able to see there are various signs that you can see in the diabetic retinopathy patient that will tell you, yes, this person has diabetes and it's not being controlled. So in that case, that's what we call ocular manifestation. So you can tell the person that or even hypertension, there's what we call hypertensive retinopathy too. By looking at the fundus, you can see some of the signs there. So these are ocular manifestation of these diseases.
Okay, sir. So what are the possible criteria for one to follow to avoid, eye defects?
So to avoid eye defects, is routine eye check. The only remedy to proper eye care is routine eye check. It doesn't matter, you don't have to be 45 before you start. As early as 5 to 6 years old, even children, pediatric optometry, children of as from 3 years, 4 years, you bring them to the clinics. We have optometrists who are well trained in that particular field, pediatric optometrists. They look at these children, they're able to take care. So there's no age barrier to proper eye care. So anybody is able to check his eye at any time. Okay, so for the general public, my advice to them is go for a routine eye check. Don't wait until there's a problem, because most time, if it gets to the stage where you have to wait for a problem, most time it's irreversible. Most time the problem has become very bad before you're able to detect that it is that bad. So the only way to avoid it, maybe you just wake up, you find out your vision is getting blurry. Check your eyes. If you have an itching eye, instead of just walking to the pharmacy to buy chlorphenicol, which is the magic eye drop for everybody, we tell them chlorphenicol is an antibiotic. It's not for allergic conjunctivitis. So if you have itchy eyes, don't go and buy chlorphenicol. Go to the eye doctor and explain to the doctor that your eyes are itching you. He asks some follow-up questions to know. He asks his investigation to find out what is the cause of the itching. Then he recommend the appropriate medication for that. So my advice is go at least every 6 months, check your eyes. Whether you have problem with your eyes or whether you are seeing or not, check your eyes routinely so that if there's anything coming up, the optometrist will be able to detect it and forestall further damage, either by giving you glasses in case of refractive error or medication in case of pathology. Yeah, well, I'm not a nutritionist, so I don't want to say what I don't know much, but I know there are fruits. Fruits generally are good for the eyes, particularly carrot. Carrot contain beta-carotene, which is good for the eyes. Things like spinach, something like broccoli. We don't have broccoli here in this part of the world, but let me limit ourselves to what we have around here. Spinach, carrots, fruits generally, they contain vitamin C. Some of them contains a lot of these micronutrients that are good for the eyes. Apart from that, too, we also advise people to take eye supplements. There are multivitamins. The pharmaceutical industries have been able to develop multivitamins for eye care. So you can imagine how many bags of orange you would drink before you get 200 milligrams of vitamin C. But if you walk to the pharmacy or go to the eye clinic, they will prescribe medication for you that even though you may not get it from the nutrient from the food you get, it also serves. That's why they are called supplement. They supplement your food intake. So get multivitamins, eye care multivitamins, whatever names they come in. At Soteria Eye Clinic here, we have a very powerful one that we take for people that even have serious eye defects. They take it, and before you see it, they start having a good impact on their eyes. So eye multivitamins are good for everybody to take, but apart from eye multivitamins, you can get your fruits and normal vegetables that we get to the market. They are all good for the eyes. Well, in the rural areas, we know they have health centers. So if they have issue with their eyes, they can go to the health centers and there they will be referred to the appropriate quarters. We don't encourage anybody to start doing self-medication. No, self-medication is absolutely totally wrong. So those that live in the rural areas, probably where they don't have advanced or maybe well set up eye clinics, but if they are able to get themselves to the eye center or to the health center, local health center, I think primary health center, I think when they are there, whoever the doctors there or the nurses there or the health officials there will be able to assess them and probably refer them to where they can get proper eye care.
You're welcome back. It feels so good to know that you're still watching the show, and I hope you did have a very educational time with Dr. Moses, because I did. I learned so much today on how to care for the eyes. And then quickly, before I give you a health tip for the week, I would love us to make a healthy declaration. Remember, this is going to be more often, so simply put your right hand on your chest and then the other to the air, and then repeat after me. I affirm that I will always take precautionary measures to any practice that is unhealthy. I hope you did that right. Finally, our health tip for the week is remember to always keep your hands clean. Remember to always wash your hands, and also keep your environment very clean and serene. Trust me, once you have a good environment, it's actually a starting point to having a very healthy living, because you wouldn't have flies, pitching everywhere. And then also make sure that you oversee every step of the way on how your meals are being prepared. Stop eating by the roadside, and then keep everywhere clean. That is how to stay healthy. I hope you did learn something very nice today and something very educative today that will help you to stay healthy and well-being. Thank you so much for staying with us. Till I see you next time. It's a goodbye. My name is Ime Serial.